This motif is worked on 6 stitches on a reverse stockinette background. You cast on additional stitches in the middle of your work, and then as you go you decrease them, and that forms the little bell. So you just work with however many stitches you want, and you can space them any way you like. On the first row of your work, you just purl until you get to the place that you want your little bell. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bell right here and cast on 6 stitches. So I'm just going to cast on like this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you would continue purling until you get to the place where you want another bell. I'm going to put another one right here. So again, I'm just going to cast on 6 stitches. Okay, so that's 6. And then I'm going to purl across the rest of my row here. It takes 12 rows to complete this, by the way. Okay, so on row 2, you're going to knit until you get to the place where you cast on your 6 extra stitches for the bell. And then when you get to your extra cast on stitches here, you're going to purl them. And then again you knit your background stitches, which is your reverse stockinette. And I'm at my other bell here, so I'm going to purl those stitches. I'm going to finish out my row by knitting. Again, that is my reverse stockinette. You knit stitches on the wrong side and purl them on the right side. And that's what you have so far. It doesn't really look like much. Row 3, you purl your background stitches. And then once you reach your bell stitches, you're going to knit them. Okay, those are my 6 motif stitches. Now purling for the reverse stockinette background. Knit your 6 stitches for the bell. And then purl the rest of your background stitches. I'm working on a total of 18 stitches here, by the way. Row 4, same as row 2, actually all wrong side rows are the same. You're going to be knitting until you reach your bell, and then you're going to purl your bell stitches. Knit background stitches. There's my bell, so I'm going to purl those 6. And then finish out my row by knitting. Row 5, we're going to start making our decreases to shape the bell. You purl until you get to your bell. And then once you reach your bell stitches, you're going to slip 1, slip purlwise, knit 1, and then pass your slipped stitch over. And then you're going to knit 2, and then knit 2 together. And now you're done with your bell. Purl your background stitches. And here's my second bell. I'm going to slip 1, knit 1, and pass the slip stitch over. Knit 2, and then knit 2 together. And then I'm going to purl the rest of my row. And that's what you have so far. Starting to resemble our little bell. Row 6. Again, you knit until you get to your bell. And then you purl your bell stitches. There's my second bell. And I'm going to finish my row by knitting. Row 7. Purling until you get to your bell. And again, like before, you're going to slip one, knit one, and pass the slip stitch over. Knit two together. Now purl until you get to your next bell. Slip one, knit one, and pass the slip stitch over. And then knit two together. And purl to the end of the row. Row 8. Of course, knitting the background stitches or reverse stockinette. I just have 2 bell stitches left. Purl those. Here are my other 2 bell stitches. I'm purling. And finish my row here by knitting. Here's the back, by the way. And this is what we have so far for our little bells. Okay, row 9. When you get to your bell stitches, again, you're going to have 2 left by the time you get to row 9. Knit them together. Here's my second bell. Knit those 2 stitches together. Row 10. You have 1 stitch left. Purl. Here's my second bell. Purling the last stitch. Row 11, we're going to finish this up. So you just have 1 stitch left from your bell, but we need to decrease it or get rid of it. So you're going to take the last stitch from your bell and your next stitch on the left needle and just purl them together. And then work until you get to your next bell. Here's my last stitch for the bell. Purl it together with the next stitch on the left needle. And then finish the row. And then row 12, you should not have any bell stitches left, so you're just going to knit all the way across. And that will put you in position to begin repeating your pattern. You could actually put more rows of reverse stockinette in between here, of course, whatever you like. But that is how to knit the bell motif.